everybody, this is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, real estate from a marketing perspective, and this is episode number 56. I want to thank my support team, which is Jennifer Smitis, the area vice president, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, the escrow officers here in the Sugar Land office, and Wendy Santana, the escrow officer in the Richmond office, and our assistants, the processors, everybody that works for us. If it wasn't for them, I couldn't do this podcast. And at the same time, if you're interested in being a guest on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. So long as you're an agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area, I'll be happy to put you on the calendar. It will be probably close to November before you get on, but I'll put you on the calendar. Episode number 56. This episode, I'm excited because I have two first-time guests, and one young lady sitting right next to me, Kelly Andel, that is very successful real estate agent, leads her own team. I consider her to be a top producer, and she's also a really nice person.
Thank you.
So this is Kelly Andel. She's with EXP. Why don't you introduce yourself? Say hi.
Hi, Kelly Andel, EXP Realty. I've been a realtor this is my 11th year. Like you said, I have a small team of a couple new agents that I've been training up and getting going in their business, and I enjoy helping people. That's one of the main reasons I got into real estate, because I love working with people, and I enjoy my job. I love, working with clients, helping buyers and sellers.
Yeah, every time I get on Facebook, there's a different post by her with another listing or another lease or something. So
gotta stay busy. I'm a hustler.
There's something in the water around her because she's real busy. So, and not everybody is. So let's start off by telling everybody a little bit about you.
Okay.
You said you've been an agent for 11 years. Why did you become an agent?
Sure. I worked in corporate America. I was in the construction industry. I worked for a cabinet manufacturer, and we did cabinets in multifamily apartment complexes. So I kind of moved around in that company. I did several things, worked my way up from just data entry to managing that whole data entry department. I left and had my last child, took off a couple of years, went back and worked for them in process improvement, kind of integrating the different departments and writing process to help, workflow. And then I did sales for them for a few years, and then loved that company, learned a whole lot about construction and working with people. That was really my first experience working with people, because I stayed at home with my kids for so many years when I had them. Mm-hmm. But that job taught me a lot about, just people skills, things like that. Loved that part, but wanted to go out on my own. Some things started changing with the company that I wasn't happy with, and I was, it was just time. And at the time, I really wanted to get into house flipping and investing, mm-hmm. but I was broke, I was living paycheck to paycheck kind of thing. Yeah. And so I was like, well, what can I do to make fast money? And a friend of mine was a real estate agent. I talked to her about it, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. So got my license, and took me about a month to get my license. I just hustled and got my license really fast. And then it just took off from there. And really, I have flipped some houses over the years. I did end up doing that. But my focus ever since I got my license has just been retail sales, and I love it so much. So that's my focus.
So yeah, when I was in property management, the company asked me to get my license because I was negotiating property management contracts with real estate agents and investors and stuff. And mm-hmm. and when they asked me to do it, my first reaction was why, of course, because I'm not an agent. But it only took me 6 weeks to get my license. So everybody's different.
Yeah.
I know agents that, man, it took me almost a year. I didn't pass the test. I'm like, don't know what to tell you.
Probably the same agents that don't have very much business.
Exactly. or
you have to hustle. You got to hustle.
Or not agents anymore.
Yeah.
So, so you're a real estate agent now. First of all, what type of agent are you? What kind of transactions do you like to do the best?
I represent buyers and sellers, and really most agents start off as a buyer's agent, working mostly with buyers, and then try to transition into taking more listings and really focusing on the listing side, and maybe they eventually hire a buyer's agent. My business has pretty much stayed 50-50. I enjoy both sides of it. It's a lot of work to work with buyers because, you're out driving, hitting the pavement, showing houses, weekends, lots of nights and weekends, but I don't mind that. And I actually really enjoy working with buyers so buyers and sellers both.
Awesome.
Yep.
And where do you since you have the 11 years experience, you've seen a lot of things, you sold real estate through COVID and all this stuff. And now, we're in a market that is not.
It's not COVID.
It's not COVID, but
it's pretty much opposite.
Exactly. Thank you for that, because I was looking for the words.
Yeah.
Where do you see us going in the future? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm hopeful for the future. I feel like it's election year, and I've been through that before too. Last election year was different because we weren't battling inflation like we are now. I mean, inflation is coupled with interest rates, inflation and interest rates. That's kind of what has put, a little bit more of a stall on the market this year. But I think we would have had some slowdown anyways had we not been battling those two things, just because it's election year. No matter who gets elected, I feel like there's going to be a collective exhale once that happens. And then, everybody's just like everybody's like holding their breath, like freaking out, but then no matter who wins, it really doesn't matter to the real estate market. I don't as much as people might think it does. But, I think it's going to be a collective exhale, and hopefully, I think we're starting to see predictions of interest rates coming down a little bit more. Yeah. So if we can get back into those low 6s, mid 5s, I feel like, maybe we'll start seeing a little bit more of an incline from where we are.
I don't think we'll ever get back down to 2.75.
I don't think so either. No.
But I think you're right. No matter who wins in November, it's not going to be about who won. It's going to be about, okay,
let's move forward.
We finally figured out, okay, now we know it's November. Let's just move forward.
Exactly.
So how long were you a real estate agent on your own before you decided you wanted to be a team leader, and why did you make that decision?
Sure. That's a good question. So I was an agent for, I've been an agent for 11 years, and I've had my team almost 2 years now. So I was an agent by myself for 9 years. 7 of those years I was with RE/MAX, and then I moved to EXP Realty, who I absolutely love, and I'm completely drinking the Kool-Aid because I love everything that they offer for us as agents. But something a little bit different, RE/MAX, there was an office environment. EXP is more of a your office from home. There's not a lot of office office space that people share, right? So I wanted more of that team kind of environment, and I enjoy helping people. So I was approached and asked to start a team, and I was like, I'm missing out on some of that camaraderie that I feel like I was lacking a little bit, and just decided, okay, let's just create my own camaraderie, and then get to help people in the process. So that's been good.
So if an agent sees this podcast and they're interested in talking to you about joining your team, are you open to new members? Okay.
Yep.
So then why don't you use this opportunity to...
I'm not really, just my own personality. I feel like you got to kind of know yourself and know what you want and where you're heading. I'm not one of those mega team leaders that's looking to build this huge, mega team or anything like that. I'm more of a people person, and I enjoy what can I do to help make your life better? Whether that's my clients, my buyers and sellers, or people that are on my team. If I can help you and train you and teach you what I know, that's what I have to give. And I'm willing to give that, So,
well, the big brokerages, they don't have that.
They don't. No, I feel like I offer a lot of value that, you're not going to get with a lot of team leaders. Some team leaders, and I'm not saying all by any means, do your research, talk to whoever you need to talk to, and make the best decision for you. But a lot of team leaders have these big teams. They're taking their cuts, but they're not sitting with you and going, how can I answer your questions? What are you doing to market? What can I help you with? What deals do you have going on? Yes, you can call or text me at 9:00 at night to answer your client question that you don't know what you're doing and you need some help with, and that's where I am.
So you basically offer what the larger brokerages basically don't, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I can give you that one-on-one.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I don't want to be a mega team, because I don't want to. That's not what I'm looking for. I like the.
If you had a mega team, you'd lose the one-on-one.
Exactly.
There's only so much of you in time.
Exactly, and I'm managing my own clients, and I'm having my own production, so I have to balance that.
The podcast is called Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. So let's talk a little bit about what you do to either promote your business or your team's business.
Mm-hmm. So, promoting my own business, most of my business comes from referrals or my own repeat clients and referrals. That's where most of my business comes from, which I pride myself on that. A lot of people, I think, take for granted your sphere. And that's one thing that I work really hard and kind of push really hard on my team for, is building up your database. As an agent, your database is your should be your number one source of business.
Can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
So how many times have you guys, if you know me, heard me say that?
Yeah. Your database is where you start.
If you're a real estate agent and you're not using a database, sorry to say this, but find another career.
Yep. I tell them, that's where you got to start. Start with your database. And I have another agent that's planning on joining, and that's what I told her. Mm-hmm. She hasn't activated her license yet, but I told her, get ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. Like, create your Excel spreadsheet with name, address, email, telephone number of everybody that you know. If you don't have it, call them or text them or Facebook message them or DM them or whatever you have to do to get that information and put it in your database, because those are the people that already know, like, and trust you. Mm-hmm. And if they give you an opportunity and you take care of them, they'll be your biggest referral base.
They'll tell their friends, and their friends will tell their friends.
And that is what has happened to me. I live by take care of people and they'll take care of you.
So you use CRM?
I have yes, we use KV Core, and I use Constant Contact. Yeah, okay. So KV Core and Constant Contact. KV Core, not as much as I should be using it. I do run ads through KV Core, and I use it a little bit for follow up, but most of mine is like calling people on the phone. Mm-hmm. And then I have like weekly emails that go out through Constant Contact.
So you have a drip campaign.
Yeah, drip campaigns. Yeah.
And you do it weekly?
Trying to stay in front of we've recently started doing weekly on our team. Email.
Okay. And then you got to tell everybody you're all over social media, so.
Yeah, social media. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm trying to remember what my Instagram handle is. Just look up Kelly Andel. If you Google Kelly Andel, you'll find me. I have Kelly Andel team. I have a Google My Business profile, Kelly Andel team. You can see, I believe, over 50 reviews now. Proud to say 5-star. Happy about that. And then you can find me on Facebook, Kelly Andel team leader, or the Kelly Andel team. Instagram.
So if you have reviews, are you talking about on Google?
Yes.
So you have a Google My Business page?
Yes. I've had a Google My Business page for several years.
That is very important.
And every time we have a closing, we send out the link and with a follow-up and a thank you, and please, give us a review. And thankfully I have, I believe it's over 50 now, 5-star reviews.
When's the best time to ask someone for a review?
Right after the transaction. I ask them right after the transaction. As soon as we close, my assistant sends out an email and says, thank you so much for your business. We enjoyed working with you. Please leave us a review. Here's the link.
When they're happy.
Yeah, when they're happy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, absolutely.
So if a person, a possible client, approaches you, found you online or wherever they found you, whatever, and says, hey, I need some help. I'd either like to buy a house or I'd like to have you help me sell my house. What's the first thing that you do? How do you make a possible new client comfortable enough to where they want to tell you, okay, where do I sign?
Sure. I try to meet with them in person. If they're at all willing, then I like to set up some type of coffee date or something to kind of sit down and talk through the whole process. Mm-hmm. we have a buyer's presentation. Obviously, we have a listing presentation if it's just a listing. But either way, I like to just get face to face and sit down with people and answer their questions. I feel like if you're knowledgeable and you can look me in the eye and, understand who I am and that I'm here for you and your benefit, then usually I can win them over.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah.
Do you work with investors?
I do work with investors. In fact, if anybody is looking to buy a portfolio, I have a client who has about 12 properties in Brazoria County that we're looking to sell.
Really?
Together would get a discount. So if anybody's looking for a portfolio in Brazoria County, that would be amazing. Reach out to me. But yeah, I work with investors, buyers, sellers. I've done several flips on my own. So I have a lot of clients that have like estates and, family members have passed and they need to offload the house and need to help. It's never been updated and since it's been built in 70s and mom and dad passed away and now we have to sell it. We have no idea what it's worth kind of thing. Also those instances where people are, unfortunately, we have issues where either people are getting divorced or families are not getting along, potentially. And so you have to work with multiple parties on one transaction. I'm really good at navigating emotions in a transaction. I understand real estate is one of the most emotional transactions that you'll ever have in your life. So I'm good with working with people in that regard.
Good real estate agent has to wear several hats.
Yes, we are family counselors and negotiators and financial planners. Yes, yes,
the whole 9 yards. Do you?
And we hold a lot of confidence too. That's another thing is people they want to make sure like their business isn't going to go any farther than the room, which I take very seriously.
Got to be transparent and set expectations in the beginning.
Yep.
Everything will be fine. Do you work with renters?
Yes, I do leases. I help renters get into leases. Sometimes I'll refer if it's a tenant then that needs help like right away, and it depends on my workload. But I have, like I said, I have team members now, which is nice because if I do get calls that maybe I can't handle right in that moment, then I have some team members that I can refer those off to. So yes, we work with landlords who are leasing properties and also tenants who are looking to get into a rental.
So last question before we wrap up this part of the podcast. So what would be, for everybody that's going to be watching this or seeing this podcast, what would be the one thing that you would want everybody to know about Kelly Andel, whether it be from personal or business or whatever you want to tell?
Okay.
She's smiling, so it's
I don't know. I'm like, I don't know what you want to know about me. Just who I am as a person. I believe heavily in how I make you feel is how you're going to, I believe in karma. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I believe in karma 100%. So you can rest assured with me that, I take very seriously the energy that I put out because I believe that energy is going to come back to me. And so far it's been great. So, I attribute my success to, I believe that if I give, I will receive. And it's worked out so far. So
like it's working 7 years.
Yeah.
So I've been impressed with you for the little time that I've known you.
I appreciate it.
And I appreciate all the business you send my way.
Yeah.
And all the business you're going to, hopefully.
Yeah. I appreciate you pouring into your agent. It's awesome. And it's something that a lot of title companies don't do. So
you're right.
We appreciate you too.
Thank you. So tell everybody how to get hold of you. Phone number, email.
Sure. Phone number 281-935-7835. And you can call or text me on that, 281-935-7835. That's my cell. Email is kellyandel@gmail.com. That's KELLYANDEL team@gmail.com. And you can find me on all the socials.
Every one of them, probably.
Yeah.
She's on social media all the time.
Try to be.
More than I am, and that's saying something.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for
You're
being
welcome.
on the podcast.
Thank
I hope
you.
You'll come back sooner or later. So we're going to wrap
Appreciate
up.
it.
This is the wrap up of episode number 56. Section number 1. We'll come back in just a few minutes with Mr. Richard from International Flooring. Great guy. You're going to love this guy. We'll be back in just a minute. Hey, everybody. This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And this is section number 2 of episode 56. And today I have a first-time vendor on the podcast. His name is Richard Arnold. He's from International Flooring. Say hi to podcast land.
Hello, everyone in the podcast land.
Yeah. So this is Richard. He is a friend of mine. He's also the fiance of a real good friend of mine, whom you guys already know. We're not going to mention her name because we're not going to give her credit in this podcast. It's not her podcast. It's yours, right?
Okay.
All right. So, but everybody knows who she is. Richard here is the owner of International Flooring. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what that is, what your company does?
International Flooring is a flooring material and labor company we support the construction industry. So we have 2 showrooms, one in Houston and one in College Station, a new one which just opened in College Station. And we are strictly business to business. So we work with builders, designers, architects, and realtors. In our products, they can come over and bring their clients for products, whether they're carpet, wood floors, vinyls, and we can just source products for them, or we can do a full turnkey.
Mm-hmm. So when you say business to business, people can't just walk in off the street and get flooring for their house.
They can.
They can.
Yes. So because a lot of people refer us to, but we just don't market to retail. And our showrooms are not retail showrooms. You have to know to go there.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So it's not like there's a big marquee and you advertise it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Why'd you get into the flooring business? How long have you been in? How long have you owned the company?
Shoot, I think about 20 years now, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, shoot,
Wow.
Time goes by.
20 years. Why did you get into flooring? What were you doing before this?
I used to be a home builder, and I built a lot of homes for some of the big track home builders, and then I kind of got on my own, and I built about 30, 40 houses on my own. Then I started doing some remodeling, and I didn't like that. So
the whole tone in his voice changed. I didn't like that.
No, because it's a whole different thing. So I love building homes. I love construction. There's nothing greater than walk in the driveway of a house you built. That's a really good feeling. But when you're in a remodel, you're not really building a house. You're remodeling a house, and you're in somebody else's home, and they're nagging at you all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't like that part.
And you're having to do what they want, not necessarily.
It just took the fun out of construction away from me.
Because people were nagging at you.
Yeah. So
I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're not really a people person.
Actually, I am, but no, and they're nagging at me.
Not really nagging
No.
That's funny. Tell us a little about International Flooring.
So kind of got burned out of the whole construction thing, but I'm very knowledgeable in construction. So I decided when I was a builder, I worked with some of the big ones like David Weekley Homes, Plantation Homes. There was a real need for flooring contractors in Houston. Our flooring was done horribly. So I figured, you know what, that's an industry that I can get in. Plus, I like doing things to a higher level than they're presently done. And unfortunately, when you're a builder, since you're dealing with, 200 different items, you can't take each item to perfection because you just don't have the time. So when you do one thing like flooring, then you can take that one item and get it better and better and better, improve all the time. So that's what we do with International Flooring. We are constantly learning. We constantly have, the whole team has a PK, product knowledge, once a week. And we're constantly going to classes in construction, engineering, moisture control, all different classes, constantly learning. So we're not just a flooring store, but builders come to us for advice. They ask us, hey, I have this issue, I have this moisture condition, I got this problem. Remodelers love us because we can help them with a lot of issues that when you're trying to put new floor on a house that's 100 years old, or a new floor that has to match an existing floor that's 40 years old or stuff like that. We can refinish products. So I love going into those projects and walking the houses with the superintendents and helping them with solutions.
So you don't just sell flooring, you sell advice and experience.
Oh, yes. That's how I keep my clients. My builders have been with me for 12, 15 years.
So how many, do you yourself physically do the work, or do you have crews? Do you have contractors? Do they work directly for you? Or they?
Yeah, we have in-house installers, and we also have outside installers, because the market in Houston fluctuates. Yeah, so at one time I might need 7 flooring installers at a time. Right now we're doing about 15 jobs.
Really?
So we need to hire subs, but those subs are subs that have come through an interview process with us, and they have to wear our uniforms. They have to follow all our standards, which is a major difference, because subs, there is flooring standards by the National Wood Flooring Association. The problem is most subs don't know them and don't follow them. They are skillful. They know what to do and they know how to do it. They just don't know the standards.
Right.
So when they work for us, they have to follow those standards, because those are the standards that are going to protect the home builder. Because if that home builder has an issue with the homeowner and he has to go through some form of litigation or something, well, that judge is going to order an inspector, or the lawyers are going to get an inspector. And that inspector, all Houston inspectors get their inspections license from the NWFA, National Wood Flooring Association. So obviously what they're going to do is they're going to look to see if that floor was installed per NWFA standards.
I see.
So if it wasn't, you're in trouble.
Comes back on you.
That's right.
Right. Awesome. So integrity is a big thing with your company.
Yes, yeah. I love construction, and I love the construction managers. It's like a group of really cool people,
How many employees do you guys have between the 2 locations?
12 with
12
the new.
Okay. And what do you think about you? So you're busy right now, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about the future of the real estate market, specifically in your case, the new build?
Well, so we just opened a showroom in College Station.
Yeah.
That place is booming.
Is it really?
Yeah. Brian, oh my God. So there's just too many people moving there. There's not enough building. I'm actually calling my builders that I know from Houston, and I'm saying, hey, man, go check it out.
Right. Go there.
And go build some houses over there. So that place is booming. I think in Texas, way growth definitely until I retire.
Now, you're not retiring anytime soon, right? I mean, you're only 23 years old.
I'm looking to retire in about 5 years, but
Okay.
that'll be cool, so that you can still live it up.
So you're business to business. What do you do? How do you promote your business? How do you attract new clients?
So that could be tough in business to business, because the social media doesn't work. Most marketing is done retail, is for the retail. But on the other side, most industries have associations. Like builders have the National Wood Flooring Association. And in over there at College Station, they have Brazos Valley Builders Association. So I joined these associations and I network with them, and we volunteer, we sponsor events, and get to know a lot of builders. And that's all helpful, but nothing substitutes just beating the street, just going to construction site, saying hello to the builder, and asking him, about.
Do you have a flooring guy? And here's my card.
Well, I mean, I don't ask if they have a flooring guy, because obviously they do, because we don't build mud huts anymore.
Hey,
So
you
so
know,
they all have flooring.
some guy might start building, hoping he's one's going to walk up the
Actually,
driveway.
I get lucky sometimes with that.
Yeah.
I went to a bankers meeting, and my banker invited me to it. It's one of those where they kind of try to tell the future. What do they call those?
Speculators?
No, it's where they're talking about the what they expect the year to be like.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and my banker introduced me. Hey, let me introduce you to this guy. He's a new builder. He just came from California and he's gonna start building in Houston. So that was great. I met him right there. Started doing his flooring 7 years ago, and I still do all his flooring. He's one of my great clients.
Nice.
Great guy too.
So what's going to be, what's coming up in the future for International Flooring? Any new things, any new changes, any more locations? What do you guys want to do in the future?
Well, one of the things that we're doing is we're getting more connected with our suppliers. So we are getting a better direct, I guess you could say more direct with our suppliers' products. As we buy in more and more volume, we're able to buy more direct, manage quality even better, and we're starting to private label products.
I know what that is. I used to private label when I was in the automotive aftermarket.
Yeah.
So we would buy brake pads from Bendix and put them in our box.
You know, when you start a flooring company, you ask Shaw. Shaw is a major flooring manufacturer, and you ask them, hey, I'd like to sell some of your products. So they basically bully you into, okay, you have to get all these racks, and they put all these racks of flooring. You ask Mohawk, the same thing. They're going to put all these racks in your showroom. That's what pretty much most wood retailers are, but we are like a boutique. So I open accounts with them, but I don't put any of their racks. I handpick every product. I go to flooring shows, and I handpick every product. So that's what we're doing with our private label. These are products that I know are awesome products, great value, and just as important, they're the exact products that my clients are looking for. Because when you work with builders, you know what they want. You know what the market is looking for. You know the price point. You know the color. I deal with builders that are spec builders. You know, they speculative homes. So they build homes that are not sold.
Right.
So they come to me and they ask me, what should I put? And I'll tell them exactly what product to put in there. Because, you know, they're builders. They know how to build a whole house, but they're not in tune into flooring like I am.
Yeah. Now, do you put, when you private label, is your name on it when it arrives at your place, or do you have to?
No, it has to come
already in your box?
Yeah, it's too difficult. If you have to hire a guy just to be putting stickers and things. So that's part of the deal. They had to do it at the factories instead of, like, all my glue is private label.
Okay.
So all my buckets come with my name and everything. So
logo?
Yeah. So that means that this is a top-notch glue that you're going to be getting. That is just great, because in Houston there's many levels of urethane glues, and only the highest level give you the highest protection of moisture control. Well, so I eliminated the two bottom ones, because in Houston it would be crazy not to put a moisture control glue on your subfloor.
Because our air is full of moisture.
And the soil, the saturation from water, because it doesn't flow, that good. But so the thing is, okay, everybody buys the cheap glue because the moisture control glue is more expensive, like 40-50% more expensive. But that's just a marketing plot by the big box stores. In reality, if you buy it directly, you can get it by 5 or 10% more. So I can get that super high quality glue into private label for me and sell it at price. See, the other trick is this. Those private label manufacturers, because these are humongous manufacturers, they have their own brand. So they're selling their buckets for $350 at the stores. There's no way they're going to allow me to sell it at $250.
No, because you'd be undercutting their price.
I'd be undercutting their value unless it's private
Put it
label.
in your box. Yeah, because then they're not getting undercut.
They're not getting undercut. So private label also allows me to get best market price and be able to offer my builders the best deal.
And then as you do that, your brand grows.
That's true. So there's a lot of good
benefits for
things. Yeah.
private labeling. So, if I was a builder looking for a flooring company, and I ran across you or met you or whatever, what do they need to know about you or your company to ensure them choosing you is the right choice for a flooring guy?
Well, one of the things is, like I mentioned, everything we do is per NWFA. So right there, they're getting a safety net that otherwise they might not have. Very important. Two is we have multiple crews, which is important because if you're depending on one flooring guy and you need him, he might be 2 weeks out.
Right.
I can get to him right away. I'm also the showroom. Typically, builders send the client to Home and Decor or some other store,
Right.
and then they're buying products, and then the installer has to figure out how to pick it up and get the PO from this guy. And you go over there, and the tile is not in this store; it's in the store in Katy. All kinds of issues.
Logistic issues.
Yeah. So with us, the client comes to our showroom. We work with that client. Some clients are easy. They come in and go, I want that. And some clients, oh my God, it's 3, 4, 5 meetings with several samples. But whatever.
If you're the 3 or 4 hour guy, we love you. Just, make a decision.
I actually, sometimes they're like, oh my God, they feel bad because they haven't made a decision. But I always tell them, look, you're talking about a $20,000 decision. So
Right.
take your time.
Yeah,
No big deal. So we work with them. We take care of them. And one of the things we do is we really make them understand what they're buying. Because, the most expensive floor is the wrong floor.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah.
So the best thing is to get the right floor to start with. We deal with all kinds of clients. I mean, one of the questions I ask them right off the bat is this like your forever house or are you selling it in a year? If they tell me, I'm going to be selling
rental property.
Yeah, if I'm selling it in a year, within a year or 2 years, then I tell them, let me pick your color, because I know what you want to pick for the buyer, for the next buyer, and if they're going with a crazy color, I'm going to try to talk them out of it, into picking the right color. But a lot of people have questions about vinyls, laminates, glue downs, floating floors, engineers, solids. So I can help them through all that. Because they get in Google and stuff, and they're even more confused. Oh, my God. So I can help them make all those decisions and give them a product at their price point.
Awesome.
A nice one.
Well, I wish I was a builder because I'd use you for flooring. I'll tell you that right now. So tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Okay, my company's phone number is 713-895-7562, and it's ifhouston.com. That's my email. That's for International Flooring. Houston.com. And I am in Facebook, but no, forget that. I don't really do much with social media.
So call him directly. Or
Call me directly.
But you remember, he's got 2 locations, 2 showrooms, one in Houston and one in College Station.
And one in College Station. I love college. I got 2 boys going to A&M.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've been fleecing me for 4 or 5 years now with A&M tuition. So I figure I go get some of my money back.
Yeah. Go make some money out of the community. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Give me your phone number one more time.
832-282-3073. That's my direct line. 832-282-3073.
Awesome. So this is Richard Arnold, International Flooring. Thank you very much for being on the podcast for the first time. You did a great job. Thank you for
inviting me, Kevin.
Yeah, hope you'll come back.
I'd love to come back.
Awesome. So this has been episode number 56 of Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. Again, I want to thank Jennifer Smitis, the area president, Caitlin Korner, Devin, and Wendy Santana, the escrow officers in both the Sugar Land and Richmond office, our assistants, our processors, and our front desk staff. If you are interested in being on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com. And I always have to end my podcast by saying, if you're a real estate agent and you are in the Fort Bend County area and you are not closing with Stewart Title, shame on you. Give us a call. Give us a try. Until next week, thank you very much. You guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.